Today's episode of Steve's Tractor Adventures. Me and Steve are working on John Deere.
That may have been perfect, actually. So, yeah, tonight we're working on electrical problems. The solenoid didn't have a ground on it, so we're bolting that on. I got everything hot wired.
We figured out the M too.
Yep, we've worked on the M, but that'll be another video another day when there's daylight.
Somebody had the wire on backwards.
Not backwards, it was on the wrong terminal on the solenoid. Much like this, you'll get that on the big jobs, so.
Okay.
We'll be back to you after a short commercial break. Alright, boys and girls, back on the John Deere 110 here. And instead of doing the electrical or something smart, I'm going to tube the tires so this thing will roll. And while I have the tire off, I think I can get that brake rod off and straighten it. And take a look at the rear end and check out the transmission oil and stuff. And not only then, at that point, it'll roll around, and when I do get it to run, I can drive it. And plus, once I get all that done in the back, I can put the fenders and the brake pedal and clutch pedal back on. So that's my idea. So here we go. Guess I can show you guys doing it a little bit. I do have a bead breaker, which helps a lot, and I'm just tubing the tires, which also helps enormously. So I'll just break them off the bead and put some tubes in them, and should be good to go there. The other thing I'm going to say is these tubes were 25 bucks a piece, so I got $50 in tubes. Brand new tires I probably could have had for $80 or $100 off eBay. 6 dozen of one, half dozen of another, you know. I'm going to tube them, and that'll be good enough. It's not worth new tires, at least not at this point. So, alright, minute worth of BSing. Let's get after it. Bearings are good. Alright, let's break that off the bead. These tires might be too tall. Problem? Usually not a problem. Okay. you guys can see, but I can literally stick my whole hand in the bead here. So them are junk. Darn it. So, let me go out to my junk pile, see if I can find something better. I guess I need two of the same. Hold on. Well guys, if you can hear me, this has escalated quickly. I found two decent looking rims and two decent looking tires in the pile. One's already tubed and we'll see how that does. And the other one's already halfway off the bead, so that'll make it easy to tube. So I'll get back to you guys. Well, bad news. That tube's junk, so back to square one of tubing the tires anyhow. Here we go. I guess I'll let the air go out of that one and I'll work on this one. Because why not? With my first $3 million, I'll buy all new tires for everything I own, but for right now, this is what we're dealing with. This is a video on how the bead breaker is supposed to break beads. There we go. So now you got two choices. You can try and force the inner tube in around this, or what I'm probably going to do to look at the inside of the tire is I'm going to pull this upper bead off of the bead the whole way, and I can look at the tire real good and make sure there's nothing sticking inside that's going to hurt that tube. So I'm also going to pull the valve stem out. I do not have tire tools. All I have is two screwdrivers. The other nice thing about tubing them, if you mess the bead up, you mess the bead up. It's not really what holds the air anymore, the tube does. Now, I'm going to take a look at this tire really good off camera, and then we'll cut the valve stem off and put a tube in this tire and let it roll. As you guys can see, the rim's pretty nice and shiny on the inside. It's a pretty good rim, actually. This is full of spiders, and I really don't want to stick my hand in there. Might be one of them brown red-eye or reclusify spiders in here, I don't know. Not real fond of. Any sort of flying, biting, stinging creatures. Like the copper moccasin rattler. I I don't know what it is. I don't want to deal with it. So, I'm just going to try and pull this valve stem out with a pair of vice grips. Oh. Don't worry. Okay. That's what they generally do. Where did we get? Oh, fell out. Okay. That part generally breaks off on the inside when they're old and hard. Okay, now I need one of them tubes, and they're clear over there. So, general rule of thumb, put the valve stem in first. And everybody remember, I set the cap on the Cub Cadet. Okay? Okay. I know you guys can't see real good, but neither can I. Next helpful hint, take them vice grips you just used to pull the valve stem out. Lightly put that on the new valve stem so it won't suck in. And now, just start working that inner tube in around the rim. This tire here is pretty open, so it's pretty easy. If you're doing a lot smaller of a tire, it can be a lot more cantankerous. The only thing I like to do, just make sure it's down away from the bead. That way, may the odds ever be in your favor, not to pinch the tire. Too. Now, just do the opposite of what you did to get it off. This is where one of them, the tire spoons are nice, because they don't have sharp edges like the screwdrivers do. If you get that tube. Just be mindful of what you do, because you can very, very, very easily stab that tube. And then you'll have to do it all over again. And then, at least 23 people are watching you at home screw it up. Great. I'm actually hoping you guys are still in frame. My knees are really messed up from doing some tile flooring last night. Oh. You wonder why I'm trying not to be on them. That is why. Okay. Now it should stay. Let me make sure you guys are looking at this. Adjust your guys' set just a little bit. Once you get close, you can take a hammer and tap that down on there, because the worst spot for the bead to get pinched is right up here by the valve stem. Which is pretty much where you got to finish. So, like I said, be mindful. So now, make sure the vice grips are on. Let's get the, let's see if the bead is punctured 200. The bead tire tube. I don't hear any air leaking. The tube's not hanging out the side. She'll fly. So, if you've done everything correctly, the valve stem will not suck in like so. These are there just in case. Perfect. Now the only other dumb question I got. Hopefully these rims bolt up. Do I want them out wide? Or do I want them narrow? Personally, I think I want them in narrow because it'll take up less space in the sheds. You guys see what I'm doing? Okay, personally, I'm going to put these tires in narrow so they'll sit here-ish. You can, however, flip these rims around. You can put them about there, which that isn't terrible either, but I'm of the I don't have a lot of space variety. So, if they don't need to be flipped out, probably not gonna be. As I about rotate the tractor on my foot. Nice. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed on your right, but I did straighten up that brake rod a lot. Is it totally right? No. Is it better than it was? Absolutely. Always.
only one. There we go. Give me the... I don't need the extension anymore. Oh. Did it really just do that? Hey. Oh, there you go. Good stuff. Alright. Now I'm only going to do that 2 more times tonight, but for you guys it'll be in 3, 2. Alright boys, good news, bad news scenario. Good news, this brand new tire that was on the front just had a bead leak. Bad news, the matching tire I had for the rear on the other side, the belts were broken to bead.
Alright boys and girls, this is Future Steve here, showing you the broken bead on this tire. And that's really not even the worst part. If you look at it on the back, see the steel sticking out? I would have got a brand new tube instantly. So, glad I noticed that. Didn't end up using this tire, but welcome to Steve's Tire Graveyard. Great. Every tire is $10 to get rid of. That's more. That's more. That's really more. So anyhow, back to the video. Future Steve out.
That's why the tube was junk. So, I got another tire on there. Tubed that one, and look how good it rolls. Nice. Alright, so I think I'm going to end tonight out. I'm going to try and put the fenders back on, at least just sit them on, and we'll go from there. Okay? Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to set the seat pan back on this, and hopefully that shifter I ordered is a great shifter. It lines up with the hole in the seat pan here. Like I said, I'm going to end the night with this, and maybe I'll set the hood back on, and another night we'll get back on this. I'm just out of time. It's 9:30, I think. Put a gravely there. Oh no, I've run out of room. Too fat. Wait. Ooh, I just saw that. Hold up. More parts laying there. Ron Allen's tractor, it's become the shelf. Alright. I'm getting the feeling this might be the wrong shifter. No, I agree. I think that's right. That's down on the stud. That side's sitting on the stud. We're just going to throw the hood back on here. I still got to work on the carburetor. This isn't good, but just put it in. Can you guys see the hood? Yeah. on there, right? But, so there's what I have for the 110. I could get a piece of mesh and put in the front of that and cut out. So, let me get you guys off the tripod and I'll show you around a little bit. Alright, boys and girls. Even the... thought I heard the camera making noise, maybe I'm crazy. Anyhow, even just a little bit I've done here. Getting tires that hold air and everything like that has helped a lot. I think I'm going to have to put the other one of those tires on here. Because it looks like that one's quite a bit taller. And I have 4 of those. Well, 3 more of those. There's 2 behind me in the lean-to, and then there's another one over there, plus a 1050. Those are 850s. The original tires were 1050s. If I had 2 1050s, I would have reused the rims. And those will come back into play someday, just not right now. So, but for right now, guys, that's where I'm going to leave this. Obviously, this all needs bolted down, the shifter plate put back on. All this stuff is sitting over here, except for the mower deck part. And I still got to go through the carburetor and get the electrical dialed down so it'll work. It'll start and shut off with a key switch. Fuel tank I have straightened out. I put a new, I put a 90-degree fitting in the bottom, and then I put a quarter turn valve in line, which I think you guys can see the red right there. So, alright guys, thank you for watching. No, we didn't really make a lot of progress here, but at least it's on 4 wheels, and it rolls. That helps a lot around here, because then I can push this in and out. Say we want to have a work party and work on something. This over here rolls. We'll run and drive with alligator clips. This over here will run and drive with a battery. This over here does run and drive. The battery just doesn't charge. 122 runs and drives. But I actually haven't started that in about a year. I should probably do that, huh? That just needs a PTO clutch stolen off another tractor. Haven't done it. Westchester runs, but needs everything done to it. So, for right now, boys, signing her off, and it's according to the way that looks, it's about 9:40. Yeah. So, catch you guys later.